Well, I'm very pleased to be joined with Matt Thomas from the country group Parmalee, talking about their new album titled For You. Matt, just give us an overview of the album and what it's all about.
Yeah, the song For You actually is the first song that started this whole cycle that we've been on for it's been about 2 years. We got new management, we kind of revamped the whole band, put out Just the Way, and we wrote the song For You. And when we were, and it's really like it got a double meaning. It's really a song for the fans, and it can also be a song for whoever you're singing it to. But we had that song since it was the first one, and they were going to let us put out an album. We were like, we got to put that song up there because we all wrote it together, and and so we just decided to call the album For You. And most of these songs on the album are speaking directly to you, to the listener, first person conversation kind of thing.
During that period of being separated due to COVID, was it harder, would you say, to get creative in writing new music?
It actually fueled it because just the way it was taken off, so we felt the energy behind that. So all we were doing was like, obviously wanting to write every day, but it was really a focus on what could be behind Just the Way. Let's write another song. What's going to be the follow-up single? And that's really how a lot of these songs came about. Going in the room and writing, and just directly writing for that. And that's how we ended up with an album, because we were going to do an EP, but we kept turning in songs, and everybody liked the songs, so they said, let's do an album. So it was we never had intentions to do an album. It just was. Thank goodness we had the time over quarantine to write, and the Zoom thing turned out to be, I think for a lot of people, way more efficient than they thought it was going to be. Obviously love being in a room with people, but it's pretty crazy looking back now on how many writes we did just like this, man, just knocking them out every day.
Now, of course, the very popular song Just the Way is on this album as well, and it features Blanco Brown. So was it something that he approached you first, or did you approach him with a collaboration idea? What's the story behind having him on board?
Yeah, we actually met Blanco before the Get Up came out. We became friends. We were working together. We'd written some songs and hung out, and we knew each other pretty good. So we just went up and introduced ourselves. But that's how it all happened, by just us being curious to him and introducing ourselves to him and becoming friends. Crazy.
Now, for Matt, I know you talked about how this album was produced. Was there something different with this one in particular that you ended up bringing into this album compared to, say, your other albums?
We did on this one. We really went in with a lot of intent on the songs. We kind of dissected Carolina and Just the Way, and Calling You Mine, and Close Your Eyes, our biggest hits, and we're just looking at what the structures of the songs, the intent of it, that kind of stuff. So we were just intentionally writing, speaking directly to the person on most of these songs. And we knew going into the rooms that that we had a direction. And I think for writing songs, a lot of times, if you don't have a direction, you may come up with a great song, but it may not fit your project or fit what you're doing right now, or maybe for somebody else. I think it was easier for us to just focus on, what we needed to do in the room, instead of just writing for whatever. And we, some days we didn't come up with anything. Some days it was songs that we had a bunch of songs that we didn't use there were some great songs that just didn't fit the vibe of what I feel like we have on this album.
Was there one or even more than one track that you really connected with when you heard the finished product of all these songs?
Yeah, I only used one of my favorite ones. Let me think. I've lived with these songs so much; it's so hard. I've listened to them 1,000 times, mixing them and recording them and singing them and all that. The duet, the greatest hits, is great with Fitz. That's a fun song. There's several. I love all these songs on this album. I feel like we have this cohesive thing with this set of songs.
And lastly, I know the band is out on tour right now. Just share with us how that's going for you guys. You guys are finally being able to do some live shows for country fans again.
It's been crazy, man. It's been good. Everybody's wide open. They're ready to party. It's a different kind of excitement, And I'm sure it'll play out, but right now everybody's just fired up because every time we get to a different town, it's like the first concert is seen and stuff like that. So the excitement level is definitely up there.
Matt, I really appreciate your time. Thank you very much for joining us. Parmalee's new album, For You, is out now on all major music platforms to listen or to have a purchase. Matt, thanks very much for joining us. Really appreciate your time.